Welcome, everybody. Thanks a lot for coming out. All right, we're really happy to be here at the best listening venue in St. Louis, the Focal Point. We urge you to pick up a Focal Point calendar to see all the great concerts that they have here. This is music presented the way it deserves to be presented. So, yeah. And then I wanted to real quickly here, 13 years ago, Steve St. Cyr got the idea to do this Songbird concerts. He called it Songbird Cafe. It was modeled after the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. And after 12 years, he decided he's had enough. So my wife, Ginny, and myself decided to take it over. We got great volunteers, and most importantly, we got a lot of supporters out there who love acoustic, love singer-songwriter, just love this kind of music, and it deserves to be supported. It deserves to be, artists deserve to get presented the way where they could really get their music across and their art across. So thank you a lot for coming out. Real quickly, if you have a cell phone, just turn it down or turn it off. If you need to use the restroom, just exit through those doors. It's to your left. And with that said, I can't be happier than to announce the performers you're going to hear. Leading off the circle tonight is Mr. Kevin Buckley. Right after him, it's going to be Dan Eubanks. Please give it up for Dan Eubanks. And then, to his immediate left, we have Luisa Sims. So happy to have Luisa Sims here. And finally, making the trek here from Columbia, Missouri, Noah Earle. So with that said, give the performers one more round of applause, and Kevin will get started. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Thank you, John. Thanks for everybody here. Thanks to my fellow performers this evening. I'm going to kick things off with a song. Day after day, time slips away, but I'd never had a clue. When I'm on my own, I'm not alone, 'cause all I can think of is you. I've made mistakes, lived through heartbreaks, more than I ever knew. Got it all wrong, wrote the wrong song, but all I can think of is you. All I can think of is you. Birds on a wire, the house is on fire. I wish that it wasn't true, but I'm not afraid to burn out and fade, 'cause all I can think of is you. You're always on my mind. All I can think of is you. All I can think of is you. Thank you.
First off, I just want to say it's an honor to play for you folks and with these fine folks up here on this, I would say stage, but it's not. But you get what I'm saying. Some real depth of talent here, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. This song is basically about trains and steamboats and Jesus and the nexus of where those things meet, I guess. I can't live in a world without a train whistle blowing, the wheels on the rails clicking 2/4 time, long, long. I can't live in a world without barges on the river, the rumble of the diesel soothes my restless soul. Long, long. Well, if Jesus was an Okie, I bet he'd hop on some old boxcar and lead them chosen people to that land of California, long, long. If Jesus was a pilot, he'd never run upon no sandbars. When the deckhands came ashore, well, they'd help spread the gospel, long, long. The train roll on to Jordan, carry me to the shore. Conductor, take my ticket, but leave them bags behind, long, long. Well, I could see the masthead way above the tide. Well, she's coming through the waves to carry me on home, long, long. Long, long, yeah. Carry me on home, oh. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
I guess it's my turn. Yeah. I'm Luisa. Most of you probably haven't heard me before, but I'm looking forward to getting to know you. This first song is called Eve, and it's the first song I ever wrote. It's a little biblical in a sense. And it's, I wrote it maybe 8 years ago, and I still find myself listening to people when they tell me not to eat certain fruit, you know? So it's hard to break that. Let's see, I got the acoustic. Doing sound. I may threw away the apple. I couldn't wait for supper time. And I'll be damned before I follow in your steps for a second time. From the beginning, I've been told my sins would resonate through time. There are rules to be followed from 9 to 5. Red bricks have been laid by surer hands than mine, but they don't mention the traffic, 'cause it happens way down the line. Fields, they serve me better than your painted lines, and a destination life, well, it don't put a twinkle in my eye, 'cause I may threw away the apple. I couldn't wait for supper time, and I'll be damned before I follow in your steps for a second time. Tough and callous souls from traveling outside your confines, I'm taken to the water to work on my streamline, and it sure is easy to lose direction in the darker times. So I'm working on a compass of my own design. It's made of sticks and stones, scar tissue and bone, and all the things I've sacrificed from learning on my own. 'Cause I am Eve who ate the apple. I couldn't wait for supper time, and I'll be damned before I follow in your steps for a second, for a second, for a second time.
Well, I sure am glad that I'm playing last, because if I had played first, you guys would be like, bro, what's with the life story? I think I'll keep it short and sweet now. I haven't played in the Vocal Point in a long time, in St. Louis for a long time, but I'm glad to be here, and I thank John and Jenny. It's probably 20 years ago I played at a house concert at Jenny's house, so I'm glad that she thought of me for this. And thanks, Rich, too, for the update on KDHX. I'm really glad to hear that people are still fighting for it, because I got a lot of enjoyment and support many years ago, most notably from Stacy Bernard, of course. Thanks for that, Stacy. A lot of my songs that are that come with a story of any kind are kind of self-referential, so slightly fictionalized, semi-autobiographical. We've always known, everybody knows a narcissist, and so this is about one of my narcissists. And but I thought I'd write it from, you know, when you write from somebody else's perspective, it feels like maybe you're trying to sympathize, but it actually comes off as even snarkier. So. Holding my tongue hasn't gone so well. I got truths to tell, and I got style. So I made a list of your worst mistakes, and I hope that you fall back in line. Don't ask about my philandering ways, and don't ask me about my crime. That's how we all did it back in those days. It was all cocaine and good time. Besides, I had a much worse childhood than you could ever dream. You were so coddled in the bosom of love, in the land of cake and ice cream. Humility, oh, I guess it's okay for the humble. I'm well above average and I won't pretend not to know. I wish you could see, you could use a little more education. I know you think you're so happy, but you need to make a little more dough. And besides, I had a much worse childhood than you could ever hope to dream. You were so coddled in the very bosom of love, in the land of cake and ice cream. Hey! I used to feel guilty that I signed you away. I felt guilty for leaving when I did. But I no longer feel guilty now that I know you're just a different kind of fanatic than you were as a little kid. And besides, I had a much worse childhood than you could ever hope to dream. Oh, and you were so coddled in the bosom of love, in the land of cake and ice cream. In the land of cake and ice cream. In the land of cake and ice cream. Ooh. Holding my tongue hasn't gone so well. Got truth to tell and design. All right. Well, I guess I'll attempt a bit of a chat here myself.
Have at it.
Yeah. So a lot of the music I'll be playing tonight is new. Though there's at least 2 songs that have never been played before. So we'll see how they go. I suppose my original music, in terms of original music, I'm probably best known locally for my songs in Grace Basement. And there's 4 albums of that stuff, and that's not really an active project these days. And I'm just trying to do some new things. So, however, this particular song has been around for a little bit, and it's on a release called Blank Slate from Chris Graybow that he put together with Danny Catheriner and Shane Devine. So I'll do this song here for you, and it's called Cold, Cold Floor. lampshade is upside down. What was once a smile is now a frown. Everything looks different than it did before. I was lying on the cold, cold floor. Never took the chance to say goodbye. Miss the last dance, but I don't know why. Might have stepped listening to a silent door, lying to myself on the cold, cold floor. When we were lovers, we held each other tight. Now I discover I fall from such a height. I don't even know if it's night or day, as I wait for sleep to take me away. And I'll dream of the furthest shore, lying here. Yes, I'm lying here, lying here on the cold, cold floor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess that's me. All right. Well, I don't hardly ever get to play my own songs, so this is a real treat for me. I'm a bass player by trade, upright bass for the most part. Play electric too, but I play in a bluegrass band for a living, running up and down the road and going all over the place. And that's where I met this gentleman and the band he plays in on the road too, Jig Jam, by the way. How about it for Jig Jam if you haven't? Yeah. It's a great band from Ireland, and my band tours over there every other year. We just got back from one at the middle of February, and we met Jig Jam over there, and this song has nothing to do with any of that. I'm just talking. But he was right here in my face, so I'd say
Staring
that.
at you.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, we've got a really rich acoustic music world here in the area, so I'm just glad to be hearing these folks do their thing. And glad I get to play a couple of my songs. These are some older songs for the most part, but I'm going to hopefully do a new record towards the end of the summer with some things. I might play one of those from that later on, but this is an older one. And it's got, I don't know, the lyrics are weird. It really doesn't apply to anybody but me, probably. So speaking of narcissists, I was in this band a long time ago. It was a blues band traveling all over the country, and we played a gig up in Iowa. And on the way back from wherever it was in Iowa we were to wherever we were going, and God knows where, we passed Clear Lake, Iowa. And if you know rock and roll history, you know that's kind of a dark spot in rock and roll history. It's where Buddy Holly's plane went down. And we stopped. It was like January, and there was snow on the ground. And you walk out into this cornfield, and there's this really beautiful monument to Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper and Richie Valens. And it's really affected me quite a bit. So this song kind of spun out of that experience. And then a few years later, I went down to Lubbock, Texas, to do some other stuff. And I visited Buddy Holly's museum, which was really, really cool. And so these things all just kind of ended up in this song somehow. And none of this makes any sense to anybody but me, but here we go. This is, by the way, I'm terrible with introducing my own songs. That first one was called Jordan Train, and this one is called something else. So. The wind is turning north-northwest, and the cold rain's blowing in. I climb up neath the overpass, damn trucks broke down again. I sit and watch the cars fly by, they don't stop and that suits me. 'Cause I don't want no help anyway, there's nowhere I gotta be. The last road sign that I saw was the Cerro Gordo County line. And then I'm cursed to remember the winter of '59. Thinking about a small plane in a field all white with snow, and a boy from Lubbock, Texas. So sad to see him go, but time don't move in a straight line, and memories are always alive. The ghosts don't sleep in the daytime, you could stumble on them when the sun is high. The Llano Estacado burns itself to brown. I head out from La Mesa to track an old friend down. Tumbleweeds and sagebrush, they keep me company. I'm thankful for the solitude of these endless plains I see. And I wonder what he'd have given to see this plateau instead of corn. It just ain't right to die so far from the place that you were born. Thinking about a small plane in a field all white with snow, and a boy from Lubbock, Texas. So sad to see him go, but time don't move in a straight line, and memories are always alive. Ghosts don't sleep in the daytime, you can stumble on them when the sun is high. When the sun is high. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, good night, all you old ghosts. I'll see you down the line. We'll make a toast to the old days at the appointed place and time. Thank you. That's called Cerro Gordo County, I forgot. So.
I'm glad you didn't play American Pie. I thought it was going to be that for a second.
That was next. Dang it.
You not remembering the name to the song, that reminds me of when people are like, "Oh yeah, what book are you reading?" And I'm like, "I don't know the title. I couldn't tell you."
Which one am I furthest into? Yeah. There you go.
This next song is called "The Breeze," and it's on my EP. just sitting over there. And after seeing some other prices, maybe I should be charging more. But I released this EP like a year and a half ago and finally got CDs like a month ago. And this song, I wouldn't say it's a breakup song. It's more of when you're dating somebody, not official yet, and you feel them pull away a little bit and like they're not telling you how they're feeling, but also there's a part of you that's like, just leave. It's not that big of a deal. But don't ghost me. So yeah, it's called The Breeze.
But would you mind just saying goodbye? Yeah, I know you see that door, and I don't know if you felt the cold, but the breeze keeps blowing. And I don't feel you in my bones. No, I don't feel you in my bones. Last walks slide like love and keeps on tripping me up while I'm not at the end of my rope. I'm just hanging around. I'm waiting for you to cut me down. So if you gotta go, I'm saying say goodbye. 'Cause I don't know if you felt the cold, but the breeze keeps blowing. And I don't know if you felt the cold, but the door is looking wide open. I'm just hanging around. I'm waiting for you to cut me down. So if you gotta go, I'm saying say goodbye.
I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of fun to change your mind about where you're going to play based on where things are going. I share Topeka, Kansas roots with Jenny Heim. And, top city, we call it. And right after high school, I left Topeka and I moved to L.A. Yeah, leaving Topeka is also good. But being from there is pretty cool. I know a lot of actually very successful people from Topeka who left. But my brother and I moved to L.A. We had this a cappella R&B group in high school, and the son of the preacher at the church that one of the members went to was a producer, and he wanted to produce me and my brother. He had gotten started in L.A. producing some up-and-coming R&B and rap acts, and he wanted to hybridize kind of that with some of the folk rock type thing we were doing. Anyway, went out there and, of course, fell flat on our faces. And for a little while in 1996, I think it was, came back and in the course of figuring out what to do with life and also having decided that I wanted to make more music that mattered and music that told a story, songs that weren't just willfully opaque. And yeah, and so I ended up in Kansas City trying to figure out what to do and going to school, and my best friend from the age of 5 and my brother and I went to Europe to do, so we could write the great American novel, and slept in parks on beaches, and I met this Ecuadorian woman that I went to visit. But to save money to go to Ecuador, I was working in Midtown Kansas City at this grocery store, and I got hit on more than I ever have or did before during that period of time, because I think I was just pining for this woman that was thousands of miles away, and that is really good recipe for people thinking you're attractive, not being available. Anyway, so after I went to Ecuador and fell flat on my face, saving money at that grocery store, there's a Pitch Weekly is a magazine. It's like a weekly magazine in Kansas City, and they used to have this missing persons section where you could say, I was wearing a purple cardigan. You were wearing tennis shoes. Want to get together? So she had come through my line, and she put an article in there. My wife did, actually, at the time, and she, my now wife. She wasn't my wife at the time. Thank you. Anyway, so this woman put a note in there called "Beautiful Sunfresh Boy." I asked where the cigarettes were, and you told me, now I have them. You want to get together for a smoke, and so I didn't, of course, reply because I was getting ready to go to Ecuador, and every minute of every day was spent trying to get better at Spanish, and but when I came back from Ecuador, having fallen flat on my face, about a year after that, I met her in a West Bottoms party. I met my now wife, and that's been 25 years. We ended up in Columbia area where I finished college and moved out to the country and started farming. After I traveled around for 10 years, I realized I had a better knack for farming, and it was actually more profitable than being a touring musician. But this is a song I wrote about my love for my wife and our relationship after many, many years of being together, but it kind of makes reference to a lot of places that we've been, and it's called Voices.
Looking at a sea of green, where we burned that winter till the fire died, giving way to a fever in my mind, in my mind. Loving you in a patch of forest as the leaves fell to an angel's chorus in my mind, in my mind. Didn't you see the path before us as another chance to silence the voices in my mind? Further back, when you were a map maker in Little Blue, and I was a creature of the night, of the night. I recall making love by the river as the fire danced like a rosy fingers in the night, in the night. Didn't you see the love that lingers as another chance to silence the voices in the night? But anymore, if a fire rages, it's an old score, like the yellow pages of the past, of the past. All those clementines and three-legged races mark the battle lines, the sacred spaces of the past. Oh, now don't you see our well-worn faces as another sign? We found our voices at last. Oh, looking at a sea of green, where we burned that winter till the fire died, giving way to a fever in my mind, in my mind.
The final round for the break. Am I right about that?
No.
Okay. Oh. So, I'll do this song here. This is a new song. I suppose this came from a title. And the title is You'd Never Break My Heart. There you go. Spoiler alert, heart gets broken.
I had high hopes.
I suppose I'd describe this as the narrator in the song is overwrought.
I must confess, I am shocked to the core, sliding down the wall and on to the floor. Oh, these implicit tones, they are lulling me to sleep. Secret promises that no one can keep. You'd never break. You'd never break. You'd never break my heart. I never knew I could be so wrong, and I never knew that you were so strong. Now I cannot say what stole your love away, but I think about it every single day. You'd never break. You'd never break. You'd never break my heart. I can see to nothing. but you're my favorite part of town. Always searching for the real thing. Hope that's what you found. Pull my picture from your frame and tear it down. And I can guarantee you won't see me around. I've got my bleeding heart right here in the palm of my hand. And I will die before I understand. You'd never break. You'd never break. You'd never break my heart. You'd never break. You'd never break. You'd never break my heart.
Thank you.
The lights are up.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm scared though. The music's on too. Cool. All right. Well, how about a Nashville song? My wife and I had the idea about 20 years ago that we would move to Nashville from St. Louis. I'm from St. Louis, grew up all over the city and county and mostly South City. I live in South City now. But I also lived in Jefferson County for a while where my grandparents are from. And I had a great mix of influences musically growing up. A lot of bluegrass, a lot of country. But my aunts and my mom were little hippie chicks, and they had all the cool rock records, and I got to hear all that stuff growing up, so I was pretty fortunate. But for some reason, being around St. Louis after college, I got this weird degree called jazz performance from up the street here at Webster University, and played in bands and freelanced and made a living playing music for a while and teaching and all kinds of stuff. And I got bit by the songwriter bug somewhere in there. I've been writing songs since I was a kid, but they mostly sucked. And I kind of gave up, and I only wrote songs for the bands I was in. It was generally how I went about it. And if I didn't have a muse, a band to write for, I just didn't want to write anything. But I had to figure out how to write for myself. And I thought going to Nashville was a good way to kind of get going on that. And we had family down there, so off we went. Sold our house in Dogtown, moved to East Nashville when you could still buy a house for $100,000 there, and you cannot now, not even close. So that's where we ended up. And this song I'm about to do was written while driving down the main artery in East Nashville, which is a road called Gallatin Pike or Gallatin Road. And it's sort of like, I don't know, think about Grand Avenue or something like that goes from one part of town to way to another one. Gallatin Road's kind of like that. But it's the main artery in that part of town. And I was pulling a U-Haul behind my pickup truck, and I had all my stuff in it, and I got there and I was like, I had that first twinge of, oh my God, what have I done? And this chorus of this song popped in my head. So it's my first Nashville song that I wrote while I was down there. And a lot more came after that, but none of them did anything. But I just like playing this song, so called Gallatin Road. Gallatin Road, Gallatin Road. Pulling a U-Haul behind me up in Gallatin Road. I come from out of town, don't know my way around. So I keep on driving up Gallatin Road. Nashville ain't the place I'm from, but she kept calling, so I thought I'd come to write some tunes and maybe play some bars. Don't want to end up sleeping in the back of my car. Well, my guitar's been my truest friend, but the pawn shop broker's got money to lend. Things are tight, and baby, that's for sure. Oh, but money could never sound as pure. Gallatin Road, Gallatin Road. Pulling a U-Haul behind me up in Gallatin Road. I come from out of town, don't know my way around. So I keep on driving up Gallatin Road. Now this town probably don't need me, but honey, just you wait and see. I may not look like much right now, but I get you to the promised land somehow. Gallatin Road, Gallatin Road. Pulling a U-Haul behind me up in Gallatin Road. I come from out of town, don't know my way around. So I keep on driving up Gallatin Road. I keep on driving up Gallatin Road. I keep on driving up Gallatin Road. Thank you.
Y'all are so quiet. It's nice.
Isn't that something?
This next song that I'm going to play, it's called Semantics. It's also on my EP, but I wrote it about living with depression. So I didn't decide to be a musician until I was like 26. So I was a little late to the game. But what I love about it is you kind of get to be in front of people with all your feelings, and it's okay. You know, it's not like if I were bartending and I started crying and telling you how I feel, you'd be like, whoa, and start like backing out. But I like that it seems to be cathartic for both the artist and the listener. So yeah, it's called Semantics. Is there anything else I was going to say about it? I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot I could say about it. But I've learned to manage it a lot more. Actually, get ketamine IV infusions, which is weird. Sometimes I feel like I'm lying. I'm like, yeah, just let me trip a little bit and I'll be fine. So. I didn't know that I was going to do only acoustic in the beginning. Very Bob Dylan. But I've also been moving all month, so I haven't been practicing as much, and this is definitely taking a toll on my fingers. And then I'm also thinking, oh, and now when I hold my electric, I'm going to hold it too tight.
I don't want to write about the woes of my life. The semantics are too hard to line up just right. One thing I can say is life is a bitch who just don't know when to quit. I smoke and I drink, and in the morning I think this heart keeps the dying alive. Something like a tree, the dead in me is boarded up by new life. This life is a mirror I've thrown a cloth over. I don't want to look back, and it's not something that walks upright, but it'll lay with you till your end. What choices have I got but to rise up with every shallow breath, especially when hard answers have already been met, as if it's a homonym you always got wrong. It's just the other meaning you just couldn't expect. This life is a mirror I've thrown a cloth over. I don't want to look back, and it's not something that walks upright, but it'll lay with you till your end. The dead come alive in the stories I've contrived. Lost loves are found again every now and then. The young are taken too soon, and I left the day your body was found, and I left the day your body was found, and I left the day your body was found, and I left the day your body was found. This life is a mirror I've thrown a cloth over. I don't want to look back, and it's not something that walks upright, but it'll lay with you till your end. This life is a mirror I've thrown a cloth over. I don't want to look back, and it's not something that walks upright, but it'll lay with you till your end. This life is a mirror I've thrown a cloth over. I don't want to look back, so just have my tombstone. Just have my tombstone. Oh, just have my tombstone. Ready to read that I tried.
Well, I think this. I'm going to play this song about my first love, who I actually didn't record it for many years after I wrote it because I was paranoid that she was going to hear it. But so, like I said, I'm from Topeka, Kansas. I went to the inner city high school there called Topeka High, which is the best high school there. They know. And Mr. Eubanks was my choir teacher there. He's the best also. But one day, I remember I was in the bottom floor. This is a high school that looks like a Gothic cathedral. I mean, it's a public high school. And I saw this girl, and I thought to myself at the time, I remember it vividly. I thought I would like to see her face every day, of my life. I thought I could wake up and see that face and be happy. So she was my first love, and you don't expect that to be as intense as I remember it being. And I imagine it's something like the first hit of heroin. According to a lot of my bedtime stories growing up were about my dad kicking heroin twice in the 70s, and that is why I never tried it. So I can't tell you, but I think that first love is kind of like that, where you don't ever. It's not quite ever the same when you again. But I could never see her anywhere besides high school because she had a very strict dad, and he wouldn't let any of the kids leave the house except for after-school activities. So I had to see her at school. We had very furtive romance, mostly in the library and hallways. And one Sunday morning, we were getting ready for church, and she gave me a call, and they had gotten a restraining order against her dad finally, and the rest the family was really happy about being able to do something different and having more freedom, and he came over and committed murder-suicide. And so she went to church with me that day. I would always say nominally non-denominational church. It was borderline Pentecostal, lots of tongue speaking and laying out of hands, slaying in the spirit, punching people in the face, that kind of thing. Yanking out of earrings at the altar. And so she came with me to church that morning because she needed to get out. It was her sister, I think, that found them, and so that day she came and she went up to the altar and was prayed on, and must have been really strange for her because she was Catholic. But and so we used to always go to morning and night church on Sundays. Sometimes it was really had gotten to where it was more of a social thing than really, I think I must have been 16, 17 years old in the summer of '93 when the flood happened. Wasn't it '93? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And so we went to church that night, and lo and behold, the youth pastor who had been one of the ones praying over at the altar that morning decided he was going to start, talk about her story. But it really seemed like he was exploiting her experience for his own benefit and for, just to look good. And also for all he knew, she was there. And so we were so pissed off about that he shared her story, and it was just the same day it had happened. And so my friend John and I went and smoked cigarettes, walked around the neighborhood, cursing. And that's the irony is that I'm kind of doing that right now, where I made up this song about it. But I like to think that it's not so much for my, gain or to look good as I made up this song as a way of trying to heal from that experience and make sense of it, and also as a tribute to her. So it's called Every Savior Bears a Cross.
My old man was a machinist for the Santa Fe. Got laid off in the cutbacks of '91. He tried to be kind, but he wasn't built that way, so he settled for doing what had to be done. My mama cried in the kitchen door as he flew off in a huff, in a cloud of exhaust. She said, what does he see in that no-account whore? Then she took one last puff and gave the stub a toss. Oh, my memories, where did we go to stay? We were still so young when he went away, but we already knew loss. More of the same around the bend. It's a real consistent life, when every trusted friend conceals a knife, and every savior bears a cross. Oh, every savior. Oh. Your old man was a slumlord on the east side of town, meaner than the devil as the sun does shine. He'd never let you leave, never let you sit down, just watch you do your chores while he drank his wine. He gave his name to his last son, but your sister had the first glimpse of that grisly scene. 2 slack faces and 1 smoking gun, and the meanest kind of smell that you ever seen. Oh, my prairie rose, who spilled your mother's blood? We were still so young in the year of the flood, but you had to meet your albatross. Oh, it's amazing you could ever get through with this. Every sweet embrace has its poison kiss, and every savior bears a cross. Oh, every savior. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. So what can you say about us sons and daughters, and what can you say about a burial ground? Abandoning ship in uncharted waters is the same as to say that you'd rather drown. What can you say about lightning and thunder? What about reason in the face of charm? Well, when that final tide sucks you under, it'll take about 1 leg for every arm. And my dear ones, where do we go from here? Do we take that boat by the golden pier? Do we try to swim across? Oh, hallelujah. Ain't it such a fine world, when there's an oyster dead for every pearl? Every savior bears a cross. Oh, every savior. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. My old man was a machinist for the Santa Fe, got laid off in the cutbacks of '91.
Thank you very much. I forgot to mention it's time for the break.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I'm Jenny Heim, Topeka High Class of 1984. Full audience, amazing artists who are with us tonight. Our winter-spring season, which we're in now, runs through May, and we're always on the 4th Wednesday of the month. So next month, in April, you can look forward to Eric Vakes, who's coming to us from Kansas City, Sean Garcia, Gloria Attune, and Michael Bauermeister. And you can see the whole lineup for the season at our website, songbirdconcerts.org. and you can also buy tickets there. And I'd also like to thank a member of our Songbird team who's here tonight, Shay Ballantyne, who's over there. She's she designed our new logo and put the website together and has helped us create the Songbird concert brand. So we thank her so much. And we also now have posters and flyers. So if you have a place where you'd like to hang up a poster, come to the table at the back and pick one up. And we have flyers that you can put on your fridge so you always know what's coming up. Also at that table in the back, all of the artists tonight have brought merch. So please take a look back there and take some of this wonderful music home with you. So also part of our team, Jeff and Paul from the Focal Point, are taping the show tonight. So it's going to be up on the Focal Point YouTube channel at some point, and we thank them so much for doing this. Yeah. We also want to thank Brad Sarno, our sound person who's making everybody sound great. And she's so quick you barely see her, but Osset Sarno is moving all around the room and taking awesome pictures that you can also see on our website. We have Rich Reese taking tickets, Kim at the bar, and then my awesome Songbird partner and husband, John Winland. So thank you all. So let's turn things back over to our musicians. Please make welcome Kevin Buckley, Dan Eubanks, Luisa Sims, and Noah Earle.
All right. Hope you enjoyed your break. So here we go. Second half. I'll do this song here. It's called... let's call it World on a String. Yeah. And this is... I guess I don't typically have a lot of information on these things. But I suppose if there's anything to say about this, it was inspired by a poem from John Wright. I forgot the name of the poem, but it's kind of like this. Hey, Brad, can I give this, or can you give me a little boost on that end? And just a little finger picker. Thank you. In the house of trees, floating on the heathery breeze, swans on the lake catch waves as they break. When the robins sing and the birds are on home, world on a string. I have nothing here except the song of another year. Just a fragment of time, just a taste of the sublime. When the robins sing and the birds are on the wing, flying home, world on a string.
the sky turns gray, I will return to the everyday. Bound by sorrow and strife, the regrets of a wasted life. And when the robins sing and the birds are on the wing, flying home, world on a string.
Thank you.
So the Songbird, this is patterned after something that happens at a place called the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. Has anybody ever been to the Bluebird in Nashville? Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I told you earlier, I was down there. I was living there almost 20 years. And when I first got down there, I did like everybody else does now. Monday night, I don't know if they still do it this way, but they did for a long time. Monday night, if you wanted to present your songs at the Bluebird and you were a nobody, you would show up and get in this cattle call line about an hour before they opened the doors. And it would be just a huge line snaking down the strip mall, where the Bluebird's in a strip mall, by the way. It's not some incredible site or anything like that. It's just a suburban-y kind of strip mall. But it's an incredible place where a lot of incredible stuff has happened. But you get in this big line and you wait and you wait and you wait. And you finally, you get up to the front and you're about to go through the doors, and then they shut it and they say, "Sorry, we're full." And then they give you a rain check. And then you get to go back the next week, or maybe another week, whenever you can. And then you get to play that night when you go back. So that's what happens to the Bluebird that this is based on. But I got to do that a few times, and it was a lot of fun. And it's a great room, and this is patterned on it. And there's not very many places where you can have this kind of an experience. So we're lucky that we get to do this. In that spirit, I'm going to play something that's pretty new, that hasn't been recorded yet, and I'm probably going to forget something. So we'll see what happens. But that's the spirit of this whole kind of thing, is to kind of put it out there and go for it. The song is is basically, it's called Rust Belt Town, and most of us growing up in cities like this can probably relate to some of this anyway. I'm a Gen X kid, and my parents were boomers, and my uncles and everybody were veterans, and they went to Vietnam and worked in factories and all of that kind of stuff. And a lot of things that I swim in have to do with that, and the songs that come out sometimes refer to those things. And this one, I just got to thinking about the sort of the demise of the industrial Midwest, and how it's trying to figure out what it's going to be still from that. And this song kind of thinks about that. So anyway, Rust Belt Town. Sometime in the 60s, we were born into this place. The land of milk and honey had some bruises on its face. Our fathers and our uncles were drafted for the war. Our boys their age with long hair asked what they were fighting for. In the taverns on the corners of the tired Rust Belt towns, they sit and drink and wonder about the world they're passing down. A remedy would be a blessing to spread some hope around. anything to stop the bleeding in our dying Rust Belt town. Some went to the factories, and some went back to the land. Some traded in their M16s for diplomas in their hands. They'll tell you they were lucky to make it home at all, but they won't tell you nothing if you ask them what they saw. In the taverns on the corners of the tired Rust Belt towns, they sit and drink and wonder about the world they're passing down. A remedy would be a blessing to spread some hope around. Anything to stop the bleeding in our dying Rust Belt town. Sometime in the 70s, the cracks began to show, but the steel they made and worked with was the best the world had known. A working man knows what he's worth by the sweat upon his brow, but a company man must save a dime, and it doesn't matter how. So overseas the jobs did go and left us all behind. We must leave to have a life and bid our towns goodbye. In the sports bars, in the strip malls of our new suburban towns, we sit and drink and wonder about the world we're passing down. A remedy would be a blessing to spread some hope around, but we won't be returning to our dying Rust Belt towns. We won't be returning to our dying Rust Belt town. Thank you.
As promised. This next one is called Sensing. It's also on my EP. And on the EP, there are horns in it, which is very exciting. But it's basically just about everywhere our mind takes us, and it takes us kind of away from the physical and what's going on in front of us and what we miss when that happens. Let's give it a go.
yet to show their colors and may never stand against the gray. Listening to the voices on the other side of the wall, but you never understand it all. Sensing that you've missed, sensing that you've missed, sensing that you've missed, sensing that you've missed. Reaching towards memories you'd written yourself, feeling the gaps of time you could not keep together, and smelling your mother's clothes and missing the warmth that they once held from her. Gentle skin you inhale again and again, but it's not the same. But it's not the same. Sensing that you've missed, sensing that you've missed, sensing that you've missed, sensing that you may lost in thought you eat without tasting, and you're locked into the motions you don't recall making. You're missing the meaning of all the nouns around you, 'cause you focused, fixated on the naming. Sensing that you've missed, sensing that you've missed, sensing that you've missed, sensing that you may
You guys remember COVID? Some say it's still happening. I mean, I think people keep getting it. People always talk about it. I hear it infuriates me. I hear people say, "What hobby did you pick up during lockdown?" I learned to crochet because I was working really hard at that time, running 2 farms and a grocery store. And at the grocery store, which I'm now proudly co-owner of, it's a locally owned Columbia tradition called Clover's Natural Market, and it's 60 years old this year. But at the time, during COVID, we made a decision for the health of our customers and employees based on what little information there was at the time, and also everyone was panic-stricken, that we were going to do only curbside. And so suddenly we went from a fairly low-key community meeting place to all of a sudden we're everybody's personal shopper and getting yelled at every day by people who either got wilted kale and they should be, God forbid, they should be grateful for kale with a little bit of yellow on it. or they just were pissed off that we wouldn't let them in. Sometimes even trying to sneak in the back door to get milk. Like, no, you can't come in here. This is what we're doing. You can hate it, but it's for, you can think we're misguided, but it's still something we're doing for you. So during that time, it was more stressful than I ever would think a grocery job would be. And I cried a lot, which was actually very welcome because I thought I couldn't cry anymore. I remember seeing the videos of all the people in Spain and Italy looking out their windows and singing opera to each other and just crying, thinking, I love those places, But I also thought, I did spend some time playing guitar. It's always been my therapy, and still my life was really good. I have a lot of space, out in the country, and a lot of people didn't have anywhere to go, but I had a pond to swim in. All the pools were closed. And sometimes during that period of time, I've always had this notion that maybe like what's going to happen next? Things are too good. So it's called Blind Luck.
Patiently waiting for the other shoe to fall. When the light is fading, well, the shadows are tall, like someone who's moonstruck when the sun turns red. Be careful of blind luck, it can go to your head. Will it be a tomorrow, or is the world near its end? How can I ever be sure, always counted you as my friend? Overgrown wood lie by an ephemeral stream. An old man clings to a bottle like he's clutching his last dream. Some of us can walk a straight line, others are plagued by doubt. Just coast downhill until our blind luck runs out. Have a piece in my heart. Whistling that part, but I thought it needs something. It was well after midnight. Everyone else was in bed. We were getting our minds right, trying to wake the dead. But I must have said something that came across wrong. Haven't seen your sweet, sweet smile in far too long. Patiently waiting for the other shoe to fall. Thank you.
Okay, are we in the
Cover.
covers portion of the evening? So you guys probably know the format already, I suppose. You got some regular people, so kind of. I guess we're gonna go around and do some songs not by us. And I was thinking about this, and I chose a song from a dude named Neil Young. Old Uncle Neil. And I just like this song. I guess I have more of a emotional response to it. I don't know what it's about. I've sang it a few times. I still don't know really what it's about. There's a live recording of him doing this, and he kind of mumbles something before he sings it. And he's like, it's nothing literal. That's what he says. More of a feeling, I think he says. Brad, I might be banging on this guitar a little bit here, so thanks. Okay, give this a shot. I'm a dreaming man, yes, that's my problem. I can tell when I'm not being real. In the meadow dusk, I park my Aerostar with a loaded gun. Sweet dreams of you. I've always been a dreaming man. I don't have to understand. I know it's alright. Oops. There it is. I see your curves and I feel your vibrations. You're dressed in black and white, you're lost in the mall. I want you to disappear past Club Med vacations. Another sleepless night, a sun that won't fall.
a dreaming man. I don't have to understand. I know it's alright. Now the night is gone, a new day is dawning, and our homeless dreams go back to the street. Another time, a place, another civilization could really make this life seems so complete. I'll always be a dreaming man. I don't have to understand. I know it's alright.
Neil Young.
Well, I thought the hardest part of doing this tonight was going to be playing a song that I've never played before live, which was that last one. But actually trying to pick a cover was really hard. I went through a whole bunch of imaginations and stuff trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I landed on this song, which is not really a singer-songwriter-y song. It's more of a band, big rock and roll song. But it's by one of my very favorite bands, The Band. Yeah. I started a band back in college, well, right out of college, I guess. And it was called Dangerous Kitchen. And there's a couple of the alums are in here. And folks that saw that band somewhere along the line are in here too. And we started off as a funk band, and we had horns, and we played James Brown, and we played Stevie Wonder, and we played New Orleans carnival music, the Meters and stuff like that. That was about 90% of our set list. And then we started to branch out as the years went on. We had a wonderful singer and percussionist in that band, and he's a legend in this town, Mr. Blake Travis, R.I.P. And we were so lucky to have him, and he taught us a lot. And at some point, we started playing a bunch of band songs. I went through a period of where I just wanted to play that stuff a lot, and we put on a show at Off-Broadway where we did all of The Last Waltz. And then the songs just stayed in the set list, and we always played them. But this one was one that we kept in there, and it was always a great time. And I've been messing around with it for several years. I put a YouTube video of me playing upright bass and singing it. That's kind of weird, but people seem to like it for some weird reason. It's from like 2012, and I got like all this hair and a huge beard, and I'm just like, this is wacko playing this song on the upright bass. But it seems to have had some legs for some reason, and it certainly does with me. So I'm going to give this one a shot and see if I can do it some justice. Go out yonder, peace in the valley. Go downtown, had to rumble in the alley. Whoa, you don't know the shape I'm in. Has anybody seen my lady that's living alone? About to drive me crazy. Whoa. Don't know the shape I'm in. I'm gonna go down by the water, but I ain't gonna jump in, no. I'll just be looking for my maker, and I hear that's where she's gone. Whoa, out of 9 lives I spent 7. Now how in the world do you get to heaven? Whoa, you don't know the shape I'm in. I just spent 60 days in the jailhouse for the crime of having no dough. Now here I'm back out on the street for the crime of having nowhere to go. Now save your neck and save your brother. Looks like it's one or the other. Whoa, you don't know the shape I'm in. Now 2 young kids might start a ruckus. You know that they feel that you're trying to shuck us. Whoa, you don't know the shape I'm in. The shape I'm in. And you don't know.
Voice on this to metal, it really gets metal, so I have to be careful about the volume. This song that I'm going to do is a Big Thief song. I don't know if any of you don't know who that is. You should look them up. Adrienne Lenker, I think she does a lot of the writing, but the lyrics are just beautiful and devastating, and kind of like a Neil Young song where you're like, I don't know what's happening, but I feel a lot, which is really special. But this song is called Masterpiece.
Years, days, makes no difference to me, babe. You look exactly the same to me. Ain't no time crossing your legs inside the diner, bringing the coffee to your lips, the steam. 'Cause you saw the masterpiece. She looks a lot like you, wrapped in your left arm around your eye, ready to walk me through the night. You whisper to a restless ear, can you get me out of here? This place smells like piss and beer. Can you get me out? You're asking me how to get you free. I only know the recipe to Rome. 'Cause you saw the masterpiece. She looks a lot like you, wrapping your left arm around your right, ready to walk me through the night. All the stars filling up my throat, gave them to me when I was born, and now they're coming out. Laying there in the hospital bed, eyes narrow, blue and red, took a draw of breath and said to me, you saw the masterpiece. She looks a lot like you, wrapping your left arm around your right, ready to walk me through the night. Oh, the mothers, dogs and brothers, there's only so much letting go you can ask someone to do. So I keep you by my side, I will not give you to the tide. I'll even walk you in my stride, Marie. 'Cause you saw the masterpiece. She looks a lot like you, wrapping your left arm around your right, ready to walk me through the night.
I played a lot of songs in Spanish, and I released an EP last week that was all in Spanish. It's kind of a novelty thing that I do, and so the only covers I really know are Spanish songs or like really old timey songs. So this one came to mind as one that I don't know who wrote it, but it's if you guys remember that Buena Vista Social Club album. So it was on there, and I bastardized it thoroughly.
Dos gardenias para ti, con ellas quiero decir, te quiero, te adoro, mi vida. Ponle toda tu atención, que serán tu corazón y el mío. Dos gardenias para ti, que tendrán todo el calor de un beso. De esos besos que te di y que jamás encontrarás en el calor de otro querer. A tu lado vivirán y te hablarán como cuando estás conmigo. Y hasta creerás que te dirán te quiero. Pero si un atardecer las gardenias de mi amor se mueren, es porque han adivinado que tu amor me ha traicionado, porque existe otro querer. A tu lado vivirán y te hablarán como cuando estás conmigo. Y hasta creas que te dirán te quiero. Pero si un atardecer las gardenias de mi amor se mueren, es porque han adivinado que tu amor me ha traicionado, porque existe otro querer. Es porque han adivinado que tu amor me ha traicionado, porque existe otro querer. Thank you.
Now that was American Pie in English, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's some fine whistling.
Woo! That's my main thing.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess this is the final round of songs here. So thanks, everybody, for coming down to this thing. As Dan mentioned before, I know some of these folks. So I play in a band called Jig Jam. Yeah. Jig Jam is an Irish bluegrass band, and Jig Jam is the best Irish bluegrass band in the world because it's the only Irish bluegrass band in the world, and we're also the worst. But so it's been a pleasure working with Dan in that context. But it's great to hear him in this doing his songs. So thanks, Dan. It's been real.
Same to you, brother.
Yeah, you got it, man. And is Special Consensus? Have you guys played here already? I saw the poster.
Yeah, we played here in October.
Okay.
And got a new record coming. So.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So there's more stuff. And Jig Jam's got some stuff coming out too in the next couple months. And when I am in St. Louis at home, Luisa here, but we both have the lockdown on Mondays at Yaki's. So if you go down on a Monday night to Yaki's, you're either going to see her or me. All right? So come down and see, just pick a random Monday, but that's where you'll find.
Well, it should be the fifth, though.
You're right, yeah. The fifth ones are tricky because I don't know who plays on the fifth one. But I'm a big fan as well, so it's great to see you in this kind of non-Yaki's environment as well. And Noah, I've never heard or met you before, but that is amazing. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
And just another big thanks to Brad, the master of the SM57, or 58, master of the SM58.
That's right.
And Osset and Jenny and John and Jeff and Paul, everybody here, all the Focal Point people, thank you so much. You guys do so much. This is a very special place, and we're super lucky to have this. So I'll finish with this song that is another debut. We'll see how it goes. It's called Long Dark Road. This is it right here. I'm playing it.
The tuning song.
Yeah. Okay. Here goes nothing. Hey, little darling, lay with me beneath the shade of the willow tree. Gone to seed and barrow bound, rooted in the solid ground. I don't know, but I've been told the winds of change are blowing cold. Please tell me it's okay, I believe every word you say. Cat on the roof, dog in the sand, crying out loud to beat the band. This one will cut you down, steal your life and your crown. Oh, turn you around like a circus wheel till you don't know what to feel. Oh, little darling, walk with me, we'll get there eventually. Buried in the shadows, where the sun sinks low on that long dark road. Long dark road. Long dark road. All the stars are shining bright so I can see you every night. Singing in the tub, singing in the rain, sing 'cause I just can't stand the pain. Oh, I'm not saying that feeling bad was the best idea I ever had. Oh, little darling, stay with me, we can share the mystery. It's all been set in motion, floating through the breeze, a constant commotion, an opportunity. I gotta tell you something that you need to know. As the sun sets low on that long dark road, long dark road, long dark road. All right. Thank you, folks.
Well, I'm just going to echo what Kevin said, this has been a real pleasure, and to get to hear you guys and play with you, and well, we didn't get to play with you, but whatever. Someday it might happen. But to hear you do your thing, it's just been really, really wonderful. You all are great artists, and I appreciate getting to be up here with you. Brad Sarno has made this sound so good up here for us. Thank you so much, Brad. We go way back, and it's a pleasure to get to do this. So I'm going to end with an older song of mine that I've got a couple of solo CDs, or well, one CD and one that's just online, and you can find it on the streaming places. But this one I wrote, I'm not a big write love songs guy, but once in a while one of them comes out, and this is sort of like that. But if you've ever been, and maybe some of you are currently, as am I, in a mixed attractiveness couple, I can let you guess which way it goes. You might identify with this song. You might. This is the narrator in this song is a little possessive and a little competitive about this person he's after. So, and all the names have been changed to protect the guilty. So, and I'm going to play it different than I normally play it. So I just thought I'd make my life a little harder tonight, just for fun. So we're going to try it like this. Let's see, what other pertinent things might I say? Special Consensus, the band I play in most of the time, we do about 150 dates a year on the road, is findable at specialc.com if you're interested in bluegrass music. It's a really right down the middle of the road bluegrass band. I mean, it's not too progressive, it's not too traditional, it's right there. We have a new record coming soon. We got a single out right now that you can check out. My stuff can be found on the streaming places, and you can find me on the socials. I don't have an actual website. I kind of gave up on that. But you can find me on the Book of Face and the Gram of Insta and all that business. So anyway, we're going to do this one. Me, myself, my hands. Called Stop and Stare. Hope you enjoy it. Something about you, baby, makes them stop and stare. Stop and stare, can't take you anywhere. I can't stand the way they stop and stare. Stop and stare, can't take you anywhere. Well, I guess I better make my play and make it soon, before some two-bit Romeo promises you the moon. Then it won't matter if they stop and stare. Stop and stare, I'll take you everywhere. Oh, you're closer to me when they stop and stare. Stop and stare, I'll take you everywhere. Hey! Well, mama always warned me about a girl like you. A girl like you wasn't built to be true, but she never ran across a girl like you. A girl like you keeps on coming through. I hope you don't mind if I lock you up and toss the key. 'Cause every time you walk down the street, you'll be walking right next to me. Then it won't matter if they stop and stare. Stop and stare, I'll take you everywhere. Pull you closer to me when they stop and stare. Stop and stare, I'll take you everywhere. Well, now you're talking to the boys and you say don't touch, but they're on your trail like an old bloodhound. I'm coming on fast, I'm ahead of the pack. I'm gonna run you up a tree, bring you back.
then it won't matter if they stop and stare. Stop and stare, I'll take you everywhere. I'll pull you closer to me when they stop and stare. Stop and stare, I'll take you everywhere. Hey!
Thank you. Thank you.
A little stalkery.
It's been so nice sharing the stage with all of you. It's nice to not be up here alone. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I've got an Instagram that I'll post on sometimes, but that's all you'll find about shows. Also Facebook. I also don't have a website. I have a lot of homework.
Websites are so 90s.
But you have to pay for them every month, and then it's like, what if people don't go to it, you know? Yeah. But I am local, so you can catch me around at Yaki's first and third Monday of the month. This next song, my last song, it's called My Forever Now. And I've just decided to start recording an album this year. So we laid down these tracks in January. And when I decided to do this, I was like, oh my God, Luisa, this could be like 5 years, like 5 years. And then I thought, what else are you going to do? Which I thought was a fair point. So I've really just been trying to focus on writing. I wrote one other one after this. Well, this one I actually wrote a couple years ago. I'd say, oh man, was it 2 years ago? So I don't like to write songs sometimes. It's hard to look at your feelings, and also you get in your head about your lyrics and if people are going to judge you, and man, is this basic? So I had left a partner, and I thought that they were my person, but I left for all the right reasons. But I'd say like 6 or 7 months after I had ended it, I still felt just as shitty as I did like the day that I'd done it. And so I sat down and I wrote this one. It's called My Forever Now. And can I get a little bit more on vocals, if that's possible? I don't know. You're right behind me. Check, check. 1, 2, check, 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 check. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Oh, I'll turn my guitar on, too. It's hard to keep it all straight, you know? I know that I should write a list, but I don't.
Is this my forever now? Is this my forever now? I've been trying to, I'm just trying to, trying to get through. I've been trying to, I'm just trying to, trying to get through. When you wrote how your mind would wrap around me, I felt the warmth, the winds fill me. I've walked through the storm, brought on Is this my forever? Now my mind is a busy bee, and it drips with the sweetest memories. So honey, honey, do you feel stuck like me? I've been trying to, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to get through. My worth didn't make sense to your dollar, and my heart is much too malleable metal to be tested between your teeth. You'd show me the door and ask me not to leave. Ask me not to leave. Ask me not to leave. Is this my forever? Now thank you.
Well, I'm going to invoke the filibuster since I'm last. No. I'm like, why does he just keep going? It's 2 in the effing morning. I just like to echo Kevin, Dan, and Luisa in saying that it's been a pleasure to meet you guys and listen to your songs. And it's been a long time since I did something like this, so it's been fun. Thanks to John and Jenny also for thinking of me for this. It's been cool. And Brad Sarno, of course, for doing the sound. I haven't talked to Brad since he mastered an album for me back in like 2008 or something. It's over there. I have a few CDs over there, but the last 3 albums that I put out, I did not have CDs made because I wasn't really touring a lot after I started having kids. And also, I found that people at my shows weren't buying CDs very much. So... And vinyl's expensive. So what do? I don't know. But they're on Bandcamp too. If you you can listen to things on the streaming platforms, or you can listen on Bandcamp and pay a few cents on the dollar for them, and that's better than you get from Spotify. This is kind of another song I've written sometime in the past few years. Sometimes when you're I tend to be kind of a man of action, I think. I have an idea of what I want to do, and I can take baby steps to do it. But for quite a little while, I was working as I was farming a lot and partnering with a grass-fed beef operation, working for a retired Air Force colonel, which was very challenging. A lot of the reason I did that was because I thought, I want to believe that we can find common ground in this endeavor of raising cattle the right way. But it's hard to be nitpicked every time you move the cattle and this paddock is slightly smaller than it should be. Or, you know, I've never been in the military, so it's a little different mindset. And then I was working at this grocery store that I am now co-owner of and running my own farm and thinking, which one of these things is going to work out? Or should I quit everything and go back to work for the post office as a rural carrier again? And my wife would say, well, do something. Because I'm sick of you being cranky every summer. She'd be like, well, here we go again. The summertime means I'm waking up at the crack of dawn to go feed pigs and move cattle, going to my day job, coming home, moving sheep in the dark after supper. So those were hard times. So even if you're a man of action, sometimes it's like you're still waiting on something. You're waiting on somebody to decide, you know, whether they're going to allow you or help you to do the thing that you're wanting to do. And you might want to do a lot of stuff. That's certainly the case with me. That's why I'm here playing for you guys when I got to work in the morning. So this song is called Waiting on the Moon.
When will the night sky open wide? When will the full moon change the tide? When can I set this weight aside? When will the moon change the tide? Well, I don't know what's meant to be. That's why I never told you you could count on me. I'm adrift on an aimless ride, just waiting on the moon to change the tide. I don't have to change your mind. I know that it's long past time and it won't change itself any day soon. So I'm waiting on the moon. There was a time when the music played. Maybe we could have pulled through. Maybe I should have stayed. When I said I never loved you, I lied. Waiting on the moon to change the time. Living with somebody is always a fragile dance. No two people in this world never stand a chance. When I woke up, boy, I just couldn't decide. Waiting on the moon to change the time. But I don't have a dream left. Good against the day and no daffodils to chase away the gloom. So I'm waiting on the moon. Still remember that lonesome night. I was at the corner nursing my wounds and you were half lit. All I wanted was to talk it over. When you told me off, it was like you were speaking Sanskrit. Made me sleep in a separate room, and all I knew to do was wait on the moon. And will the night sky open wide? That's what he said till the day he died. That's what you do when you're empty inside. Wait on the moon, change the tide.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good night. It's been a pleasure. We applaud you as well.